Mic check, 1 2 1 2. What's up, guys? It's Sam, the Portuguese mofo here, and I figured I'd do another commentary. This one was from a while back. I'm getting pretty close to being through all these replays that I have from before I started, I guess, putting videos on YouTube. We're getting pretty close, I guess, to that point, and then I guess once I finish all these ones that I say are pre-YouTube, I'll start going into the catalog of all the games that I've been playing since YouTube. So, anywho, let's give her a quick pause here. So, this was a Cav spam I faced here against General Menacte. I was not expecting this, right? But it was an interesting situation to deal with, and I am able to deal with it. Now, the exact occurrence of everything that happened, if I recall correctly, right, I'm all the way positioned over here, okay, and, right, Tokai Valley, I'm pretty familiar with the map, but I remember loading in and be like, oh, he didn't have key buildings on, which obviously makes for a big difference, right, in how to play. But I decided that I was going to mostly occupy this left side rather than this right side, although I do have some various units over here. But yeah, if I remember correctly, he's going to advance, or I'm going to eventually, we're going to like first engage somewhere here, and then he's going to swing this way, and I think I finally do destroy him down here in the valley. Let's see how my recall is though, right? That was back in December, mid-December, so definitely a while ago. But let me just go over my army composition, obviously, too. We've got the bandits over here. We've got the Wako Raiders, right? We've got 1, 2 light cav, and we've got 1 Yari cav. Let's make sure I did that right. Yep, 2 light cav, 1 Yari cav, and a fire cav here on my right flank hidden, okay? And then the primary army here. So, I've got 1, 2... So I've got 2 Yarya Shigaru. I've got 1, 2, 3 Katana Samurai. I've got a unit of Bulletproof Monks. I've got a unit of Foot Samurai. Interesting. I've got my bodyguard, who is a Bogen, and then I've got 1, 2. So 2 Bocav and a mounted Samurai hero. So interesting army for sure. So with that here, let's get the battle going, because I can only see his general, and he is going to have a lot of cav whenever they decide to appear. So let's see what happens here. Okay, let's just advance it a little bit, because obviously I'm going to do a lot of moving. That's right, so yeah, I'm going to position. Oh, here we go. Here they all come. So right, mounted Naginata, light cav, Naginata warrior monk cav, mounted gunners. Okay, light cav, some more Naginata warrior monks, some light cav. You can see the flags kind of going all over the place. So a lot of light cav. Alright, he's got some katana cav there, Yabasumes. Yeah, Yoritomo's Yabasumes. Alright, so that's all bow cav, so light cav. Yeah, I did see fire cav in there yet, the Naginata warrior monk cav. So a strong mix of it all here, right? Tons of, what are these? Oh, veteran Naginata warrior monk cav. Okay, he brought the Dunderbuss, the spears of Shizugatake. There's those mounted gunners again. So, right, very good. Lots and lots of cav. We've got wedge formation going. Okay,
Our hidden units have been
they have been discovered, and I'm pretty sure they get taken out here. Let's see if I get any shots off. Right, I might do a lot of this in slow-mo, because I don't remember. It might be like slow-mo then speed up, just because of how this battle went, if I remember. So they're getting some shots off. I'm also getting some shots off. Looks like it looks like I was probably shooting at Yoritomo's Yabasame's cav, and they decided to shoot here and they stopped there. That could have been what happened. Right, with the arc path of the arrows. Yeah, it's like you can like miss shots where it's like, because their unit, the unit you are targeting is moving, okay? And so they're aiming ahead, and if that unit stops, right, they'll actually shoot past the unit, because if they had pulled the trigger, so to speak, while that unit was still moving, it'll shoot ahead of them. So if you can stop your cav on a dime sometimes when that volley goes off, it's a way to dodge arrows, as well as obviously moving away from shots too. But if they get locked in on right their targeting, right, they will hit you while they're on the move. So it's just a thing to be aware of, to take note. You know, I say that though, they were past, so it might have been because there was another unit. Yeah, he did have the mounted gunners. I was gonna say, did he have another bow cav or no? No, he didn't. So it was just the one. But obviously here, so he's able to take them out. Okay. This I'm aware of. Now it's just about trying to get him separated, right? Not actually getting hit here. Okay, so if I'm smart yet, I'm gonna get out of there a little bit, right? His bodyguard. That's really the other bow that I was seeing when I was looking at Yuritomos. So that bow gen there. I didn't even look at what else he's got going on with that bow gen. If you put things in other stats, but that's okay. So obviously, right, we're just gonna get away from them. Now, if I can fight them in the woods, right, that's a lot better for my infantry rather than his cav. But you know, he's not gonna stay there. And now he is going to run across into these woods, if I'm not mistaken. So right, just trying to make sure he, right, because in reality I gotta try and get him trapped in some way, which is gonna be really hard. So yeah, you're gonna see I'm gonna start to try and slide this way. I gotta try and trap him in a corner is what I'm really trying to do, right? Somehow trying to cut off his ability, okay, is I guess what I'm thinking now. Here obviously I just decide to occupy here. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, when I was fighting this battle, I think, right, because this can be a bit of a bitch to deal with, right? It's like, alright, I can't catch him, and we don't have dojos in order to, right, force his hand into my own infantry. So I wonder how long we end up sitting like this. So he's gonna come down into the valley, interestingly enough. So in some capacity, this must meet him. Now, right, this is a weird thing. He brought this entire cav army, okay? So, right, he is trying, I will give him this, it was a regroup and trying to engage, right? Because I can't technically catch him. He could run around the map the whole time.
Our hidden units have been discovered, my lord.
So, here we go. Yep, now I'm just gonna move. Now, I think for his sake, he should have been trying to move around and try and catch certain fights, right? Get out of these bulletproofs. But I had a pretty good setup, though. Honestly, right? I can just move those bulletproofs in. Okay, I was able to get their rapid advance off. Alright, now I got my own cav moving around to occupy. So those mounted gunners are going to get shots off, but oh, actually I didn't quite reach them. I thought I might. But we've got the Yaris chasing. Now my cav are chasing them. Okay, his bodyguard and the bow cav are moving back. Right, sending this light cav, but now I've got them all occupied here in the middle. Okay, it's kind of craziness here. It's like, because these, right, so that katana, they're all the way out here, right? There's a lot of discussion on pull-throughs, and I'm, you know, this is, it's like units ended up pulling through in this situation, I feel like. I'll say this, I'm not confused about like what are active pull-throughs, but sometimes, right, it's like this blob mess. Like, would people get mad about pulling through here? I don't think so, right? But, and especially with Cav, right, because when units are targeted to each other, right, sometimes they'll pull or follow with that unit that they're targeting. So, right. But, right, a lot of chaos there here, but was able to catch him in the woods, right? I had the hill. Okay, he just engaged too much of the Cav here, so I was able to catch most of them, right? Light Cav, especially light Cav, really cost efficient, but you gotta be in and out with them. Like, you don't want them in sustained combat. They can sustain it with other Cav a little bit, but really you're trying to get a great charge and then get them out. So yeah, we're just gonna chase here. The last of the bow Cav here. It's a very interesting match. You know, the Cav spam. I know it's right, like a lot of people aren't looking to do that even. But just, it was an interesting challenge, and I had that replay in there, so I figured I'd go through it. And yeah, so let's just go look at the battle stats, and then I won't be playing for a few days anyways. Got a little trip to go on, a little hunting trip, and then I gotta help some people move and do some good stuff, so be a little busy, but good game to my opponent. It was a interesting challenge to take on. Yeah, I guess it was in all technicality my first Cav, and I guess really the only Cav spam I've ever faced, I want to say. There might have been some, like I said, I lost, I don't know, it was probably somewhere in the vicinity of 30 to 40 replays, I want to say. Might have been one in that, but not exactly sure. But right, so right, I doubled, you know, I'd almost doubled his units, right, which is no surprise when you're bringing a Cav spam. You're giving up numbers for speed and mobility. So who did the best here? It's probably not even his bodyguard, the light Cav there, 37. Nagata, those, so these Naginata Warrior Monk Cav. They have a name, which means that they'd be veteran. Interesting. It just doesn't show that they have any experience, which maybe they don't, or any actual upgrades on them. Like, they have the experience, but just not upgrades. Interesting. So, but yeah, it looks like 37. Or no, 41. The Naginata Warrior Monk Cav. So, and then for me, the bulletproofs did pretty well, right? Ajari Heavy Lancers, so 78. They're the top killers. Right, and the bulletproof were able to get that rapid advance charge downhill into the bulk of the Cav, and they're an anti-Cav unit. So, so if you come across this, I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe hopefully learned something, and have a good one.